Hey guys, just a quick video about Godzilla in 4K. I've watched it a few nights ago. Just want to do a review about it. My setup is in the description below. I've set it up for a quick rundown. LG C1 non-calibrated TV, Sony X700 series Blu-ray. I listen to it at night when my toddler goes to bed, and I used to use headphones. So that's my setup, like they call it, the cheap man's home entertainment system for me. Plan to upgrade it when I get my own spot and everything else, more space, more privacy, and so forth. But if I have to say, if I have to say the least amount of words after watching this movie, I would say it's like pretty much grain is bare minimum or none at all from my experience. I walked away happy about it. A lot of recent movies have like this artificial grain, it just takes me out of experience. So if you don't like free grain free movies, for Godzilla 4K is the way to go. Also helps that the Blu-ray version that came out years ago, I guess it was a bad transfer. They didn't call it, whatever the case is, that the movie was particularly darker than usual in the Blu-ray version. At the time, I didn't notice. I didn't really pay attention to details like that when it comes to movies. But on the 4K version, they cleared that extra darkness and brought out more details from the shadows and so forth. And it also helps there's the 4K version, pulls those details as well. So I have to say the movie was beautiful. Well, I really enjoyed the movie. Huge Godzilla fan, so I'm really biased. So Godzilla was barely in the movie. That's one critique at the time. Also, I think the Mutos had more screen time than the Godzilla. So when it comes to 4K details, it's really beautiful to look at. The CGI still holds up, especially Godzilla and the Mutos. There's some certain scenes the CG doesn't look a little wonky, like out of place. I don't know, because they didn't have time and money to improve those CGIs on the same level as Godzilla or Mutos, because they're pretty much the stars of the movie. So there's a lot of indoor sets like the submarine, not the submarine, like the battleship bridge, the hospital settings. I do appreciate when the movie does go out of its way to do outdoor scenes. Just on the top of my head, like the San Francisco scene where Brody catches a ride on the train. You can see the building and so forth. For the 4K details, like I mentioned, you can see the army, military, the vehicles, the details on the gear, the guns, and so forth. I do appreciate it. Let me see. Let me see. The two highlights I want to talk about is pretty much when the Mutos attacks the train at night. I remember the Blu-ray is particularly darker, but this one, it's one of those, the movie night scenes where they use flashlights, even though we can see everything from our point of view and so forth. So it's clear, you can see it. You can definitely see the Mutos if you really pay attention to it. The HDR overall in the movie was not used, not because the HDR is crappy, it's because the movie's overall dark earth tones, so there's not much bright colors to take advantage of HDR. But I walked away happy with it, especially when it comes to like the flashlights aiming at the camera, super bright, or the Muto's eyes. And I do appreciate the brightness of the Godzilla's when he charges up his fire breath. I really enjoy that scene. And the San Francisco scene where they fight in the city, awesome. It was perfect from my point of view. The Mutos had definitely had a lot of detail to them. The headphones, I bumped up the volume pretty much 90%, and I do enjoy the battle scenes. So, just like a quick, mature, amateur video take on Godzilla 4K. I really enjoyed it. Bye.